Testing. Can everyone hear me? Good?
Perfect.
Okay, I think everyone's here, hopefully. Good afternoon. My name is Crystal Allis. I'm the Executive Director of Sobriety House. So welcome everyone to the opening of Sobriety House's new building in Lakewood, also known as Phoenix Concept. This location will be for our transitional residential treatment clients who identify as male. And in this level of care, they'll reside here for up to 6 months while they continue transforming their lives in recovery. So I'd like to thank my leadership team and our staff, as well as our board of directors, for all the time, effort, and patience throughout the process of preparing for this day, and for their continued dedication to our mission, serving our clients with quality care and regardless of ability to pay for treatment. Also, thank you to Savvy Construction for their remodel work to make this building look amazing, and for supplying generously all of the refreshments and decorations to celebrate our ribbon cutting ceremony today. I'd also like to thank Representative DeGray Kennedy, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but he has a lot of support for Sobriety House and suggested a ribbon cutting ceremony in the first place. This happens to be his district, and so he is celebrating us, expanding our services in the Lakewood community. And then thank you to Lakewood Mayor Wendy Strom, who will be coming up momentarily, for also taking the time to acknowledge this moment here today for her city. And last but not least, I want to thank Congresswoman Brittany Pedersen for her long-term support of Sobriety House, as well as the substance use disorder treatment field at large, advocating for easier access to treatment and better care for the populations we serve. We really appreciate you being here today. So now I'd like to introduce the Mayor of Lakewood for a few words, Wendy Strom.
Thank you. Where did we get lucky with the weather, right? Yes. So all of the gratitude you are showing, I just want to say welcome to Lakewood and so much back to the work that you do. And I know Congresswoman Pedersen will probably get into a lot more specifics around mental health and substance abuse and the importance of us really loving our neighbors and bringing them in to help everybody, get on a path to being more healthy and getting out into healthy lives and in healthy communities, and you guys are definitely a big part of that step. So I just want to send a message out from our leadership here in Lakewood to say thank you all for being here in support of this project and for bringing this project to our backyard so that we can help you support your mission to get all Coloradoans healthy and back into a sustainable way of living. So thank you so much. I'm very honored to be able to be here this afternoon, and I'll hand it back over to you.
Thank you so much. All right, Congresswoman Pedersen, would you like to come up?
Thank you so much, Crystal, and hi everybody. It's so good to be with you. For all of you that don't know who I am Stacy Pedersen's daughter, most importantly, with all of you. And just so wonderful to be with her friends and her support and the people that saved her life. I want to give a big shout out to Sherry John, who is in the Senate doing all of this work with me, the bills that have completely changed the funding that's available in the state of Colorado for people who are struggling with substance use disorders. Sherry John was the fighter and our leader in the Senate. We couldn't have done it without you. So I represent the 7th Congressional District. And if you don't know my mom and our story, Sobriety House plays such a critical role in our life. And it's a story that so many people who have come through Sobriety House have benefited from. My mom was struggling with an opioid addiction. It started when I was 6 and she hurt her back and she went home with bottles and bottles of opioids like so many people. Eventually she was cut off of her medication without access to treatment, and her neighbor said, "Here, you'll never have to go through withdrawal again. Here's some heroin." And that's when the cycle of heroin abuse began. Fentanyl started coming into the supply chain in 2016, and she started overdosing at a high rate, was begging for help with nowhere to go. And I was a legislator at the time. I had the leading experts in the state who had to help me navigate the most cumbersome, insufficient, just absolutely immoral system that we had here in Colorado to treat people with the respect and dignity that they deserve who are struggling with addiction. We went through a court order to get my mom access to care and make sure that her treatment was funded. And so it was a very high standard to go through to save my mom's life. But the role that Sobriety House played for us was my mom went into intensive inpatient treatment where her brain started to heal. Like all of you know, people who are struggling with addiction, it's a disease. Your brain literally changes physically. It takes months to heal. My mom calls it, the fog is lifting. She could start remembering and feeling things and wasn't just continually focused on where she was going to how she was going to avoid withdrawal. And when she left the place that she was at, she went to then for her inpatient treatment her residential treatment was with Sobriety House. And that was the second part of her 7-month-long treatment that was covered. My mom had struggled for 30 years. So the fact that she's still alive and that she finally got the care and that continuum of care changed our trajectory. So my mom went into Sobriety House where she continued in recovery, and people there saw something in her and asked her to step up in a position where she started working at Sobriety House. So not only was she living in recovery, she found meaning every day in the work that she was doing, helping others who are struggling with addiction. So I can tell you that my mom would not be here today without Sobriety House. Get choked up. And I just want to thank all of you for supporting her. She would be here, but it's during her nap time. And because of the support that she received, she's about to celebrate 7 years in recovery this August. And my mom opened my eyes to our system that has failed so many people, and the need for a voice at every level of government to fight and support places like Sobriety House. And so thank you for your leadership. We're so excited to have you here in Lakewood. This is where my family lives. And the need is still very great. When we started doing this work, 2 out of 10 people that needed treatment actually got it in Colorado. Now it's 6 out of 10. So while we're doing a lot better than we were because of the leadership in the state, we still have a long ways to go. So thank you for being here to support this incredible day. When I think of the 12 people that will come here throughout their recovery every single time, the people whose lives will be given a second chance. I can't thank you more for the work you do every day, Crystal and team, and thank you for having me to celebrate this very important day. And my mom will definitely be here soon just to congratulate you as well. And with that, I'll give it back to Crystal.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. So actually now I'm going to invite a handful of people to come up behind me onto the patio so that we can basically do the ribbon cutting. So if Congresswoman Pedersen and Mayor Strom, my leadership team, and any board members who are present, if you would please come up behind me. Thank you. Yeah, right? So thank you all for coming today to celebrate this momentous time for Sobriety House, and I would like to dedicate this ribbon cutting to all of those who are in recovery and who have yet to be in recovery. All right, so now everyone's welcome to come back inside, enjoy some refreshments.
Yeah, let's all
Oh,
crowd
sure.
in really close here, and I'll get a picture of that in a second. But everyone crowd in here. Everyone crowd in really close here. We're going to do a picture too.
And then we'll go inside, mingle refreshments, and take a tour.
Come as close as you can. If you're tall, stay in the back. If you're a little shorter like I am, we can use these two openings.